welcome, especially those of you who are joining us online as well. I'm going to introduce Daniel, just a reminder. So next week we'll have a congregational meeting between worship services. Please feel free to ask questions and get to know Daniel. And you were the ones to discern a call of a pastor. So we thank you for taking on that responsibility. But I'm going to turn it over to Daniel.
Well, good morning again. Before I get too into this, I want to make sure the folks online can hear me. So I'm looking at Brandon. We're good? All right. So thank you again for the hospitality, the coffee, the muffins. It's all beautiful. Thank you so much. I was telling Mallory, so we moved back into Phoenix from Texas at the end of June, beginning of July. What is time? What is anything? And we really haven't found a church home because we've been working through the call process, and so we haven't been in church in like a month and a half, and our souls are very filled right now. I know we were very emotional during the service. This is a beautiful worship, beautiful community. So thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. And again, I don't speak for my wife very often, but I'll do it again. Thank you so much from both Mallory and I. So I am Daniel Volkmann. As I said, I was born and raised here in Phoenix. I grew up in Ahwatukee. Went to Desert Vista High School. I won't tell you what year I graduated, just so I don't give away my age too soon. And then I went to Wartburg College in Waverly, Iowa, where I met my beautiful wife, Mallory. She's from Iowa, so are there any Midwesterners in the room? There's always a couple. Yeah, there they are. There's always a bunch of y'all. So she's from Mount Pleasant, Iowa, southeast corner, little town about 45 minutes south of Iowa City. We met in choir in college. We may join the choir, we'll see. Yeah, there it is. So, there's the choir. I wonder where you were. And then I enrolled in Wartburg Seminary, which is based in Dubuque, Iowa, and they have a program called the Collaborative Learning Program, where I got to serve as a pastoral intern, function sort of like an associate pastor for the last 4 years in a church in Shiner, Texas. We're Lutherans, so we do enjoy the occasional beer. And so if you are familiar with Shinerbach beer, that is where they brew Shinerbach. It is a town of 2,000 with a brewery. Welcome to Texas, y'all. And so that is where we've been for the last 4 years. I got to learn and grow alongside some amazing people in Shiner, and then entered the call process kind of beginning of this year, about January of 2024. I've been working with the amazing call committee and the council to end up where I'm at right now, which is standing in front of you with a microphone and a cup of coffee. So. Thank you. Yeah, it is so good to be here. That's what I've got as far as an introduction goes.
Can you tell us the work you did with the gathering?
With the what now?
I saw something that you did some work with the gathering.
With youth gathering?
Yes.
So I didn't do I did some with youth gathering, but it was mostly in Shiner 2 years ago when they canceled the gathering for COVID for the third time or whatever it was. Gathering got moved out a bunch. So it was really coordinating with gathering with our students, trying to figure out hotel accommodations and travel and that sort of stuff. So it's not been on the ELCA side, but on the church side. Mm-hmm. Yeah, gathering's great. Were you there this year? You were there this year? I saw a couple Created to Be shirts. Yeah, that's where I knew I saw a couple of them running around. Yeah, I love youth gathering. It's a really cool place. Oh, that's the one thing I forgot. I was told to slip this in to get on the good side of the youth. I was a campformation counselor for 2 years. Yeah, there it is. Campformation shirt. So I was a campformation counselor for 2 years, and then while I was in my undergrad, I served as full-time camp staff for 2 years. So I have a heart for camping ministry, a heart for youth ministry. Camp is great. We do a lot of camp. And the youth are like, and we're voting yes. We'll see you next week. Bye, everyone. I don't know. Are we raising hands? I don't know how this is working. Raising hands, shouting out. Yes, ma'am. Oh, you got it. Hello. What do I like to do for fun? I like to chase around my kid for fun. That's kind of been, so Jack is 14 months old, and he started walking at 10 months old. And so he's a pro. and he likes to run around and get chased. But when I'm not chasing around my son, I'm a church musician by trade. I'm an organist, and like I said, woohoo. And as I said, I met my wife in the choir, and so music. That sermon this morning really touched both of us as musicians. What I was told to tell you, but I'll tell everybody. So our choir director, when we were in college, she always said that the voice is in between the head and the heart because you use equal parts when you sing. That's at the 11 o'clock service. There we go. You can slip that one in the sermon. But yeah, the voice is halfway through. So really that resonated with us. But yeah, I like to do a lot of music. I like to lift weights. I do yoga. I like to read. I'm a nerd. I like to read for fun. I read theology for fun. Judge me. You can judge me later. Mallory already does. So you two can start a club. So. Yeah.
Daniel,
Yes, sir.
what made you decide to pursue the ministry?
What made me to pursue the ministry? I'm coming back. I'm just setting my coffee down. So my grandpa was a Lutheran pastor. He served at Concordia Lutheran on, 35th and Indian School? 49th and Indian School. Down the road. So he was a Lutheran pastor for 40 years, give or take. And so he was a big influence on me. We actually named our son after my grandpa. And then also, so I went to Mountain View Lutheran, and my youth director played a big part in my life. And so that's part of the reason I have such a passion for youth ministry, is my youth director is also part of a big reason why I'm here. And so I felt a call to ministry really young. I was late middle school, early high school when I really started to feel a call to ministry. And it started as a youth director call, actually, and have discerned since then to pursue ordained ministry. So, yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we have a large percentage of older people here.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything you're going to help out there? We kind of went out floating all summer.
So I like young people and I like old people too. She asked what I do with the elderly population. So actually, when I was in Shiner, I became really good friends. There was a group that played dominoes because that is a Texas religion, is to play along with football. You go to church on Friday to the football game, Saturday to the domino club, and then Sunday morning to your church. So that's kind of the schedule there. But I played dominoes with, it was all retired women at that point. And then also with the canasta group. I don't know if y'all play canasta. There we go. There's a couple. And so I started playing with them, plus getting connected. We had a nursing home right across the street. And so some of that retired population, we had a ministry called Just Older Youth. Joy! And we would do sort of like your Friday, what do you call it? Friday Fun Days? Friday Friendlies. I was close. And we would do something like that where there was a program, there was music. I would provide music every once in a while, have a meal, and just get to be together. That's one of my really big things is if you're going to do church, let's do church together. Let's be friendly, let's be social, and let's praise God and have some fun. Yeah. What was that? Yeah. I'm going to get a muffin, and then you can ask that.
So, we have a Pastor Dan. Are you going to be Pastor Daniel?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I go by Daniel. I've never really liked Dan, so that makes it easy. The name Dan. I love you, Pastor Dan. I love you. Poor choice of words.
Don't worry, I'm only one vote.
You're only one no. Okay, so when I get the one no in the column, that's Pastor Dan. I understand. Come on, honestly. Yeah, so one thing that I really loved about youth ministry, Mallory's giving me the side eye. I think she knows what I'm going to say. So when we were in Shiner, I got trained in, it's called Godly Play. I don't know, Pat, you're shaking your head. You're maybe familiar with Godly Play. There's some other nods in the room. So I absolutely adore Godly Play. It is a Montessori-based way of doing Christian education. So you really empower the youth to explore their faith. One of the tenets of Godly Play is that youth are spiritual beings just like the rest of us, and that they have a faith just like the rest of us, and that we don't need to coddle them, we don't need to shove a specific faith formation down their throat, but you really allow kids to explore and to wonder the tenets of their faith and give them a space to do that. And so I'm really excited, even if it's not a specifically godly play curriculum, some of those kind of facets of godly play and bringing that over with the youth is what I'm really, really excited for. I don't know why I keep setting the coffee down. I keep going back for it. Yes, ma'am.
Did you go through diaconia program?
Did I go through diaconia? No, I did not. I pipelined directly from high school to undergrad to grad school. And so I have had zero time in between. I've been in school since I was, 4. So it's nice to be done. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, sir.
What state were you born in?
I was born here. Yeah, I was born at Banner over on Dobson in the 60. Don't ask me what room. Yeah, I was born at Banner over there and then grew up in Ahwatukee. Went to Kyrene School, went to Aki Mall, and then I went to Desert Vista. My home church is Mountain View. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Mountain View Lutheran. That's my home church. If you look, my name is somewhere on the baptismal records in a year. There was one over here. Maybe? Yeah. Favorite book in the Bible? Oh. So I'm gonna Daniel. That'd be a stereotypical answer. Actually, so it's funny. When I was a kid, I really wanted Daniel to be my favorite book of the Bible because, like, my name's Daniel. You gotta like it, and it's the weirdest book there. Daniel is a strange book of the Bible. I have 2. Is that an okay? Can I give you 2? So Exodus is probably my favorite book of the Bible. I'm an Old Testament guy. Hebrew Bible is my bread and butter. I really enjoy biblical language. And so you're talking about Paul's run-ons. Yeah. But I really love Hebrew. And so the book of Exodus, and then I did my master's thesis on Exodus and John. And so those 2 together are really kind of my favorite co-books, if that's allowed.
Yeah, it works.
It works, okay. Yeah, so I'm going to go Exodus and John. Brandon.
Okay, I got something on here. What is your viewpoint on Corinthian law?
Corinthian law? Can you expand on what you mean by Corinthian law before I say something that makes me look silly? And then
I'm reading it.
Yeah, I'm asking them. And then I thought there was one more in the room, and while they type, typing takes longer than talking. I mean, I'll sit here and...
I have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
We have a interim between the very youth and the older people. How can we strengthen the middle age group? Because our church will fade when the old people go.
Mm-hmm.
We're going fast.
Yeah, that is sort of mine and Mallory's age group. We're kind of on the young end of that middle, obviously. But it is really listening and empowering and giving those people space, kind of like what we do with youth, where you let them explore, and really speak to the issues that are important to people of that age. Because people with young kids, people with not quite as young but still younger kids have a different set of needs than someone who is retired or someone who is 7. And so it's really listening to them and finding what they need to feel supported. And again, doing ministry together and walking alongside everybody.
Well, we have the middle-aged people are, they still have kids in school,
Right.
and they don't seem to volunteer for a whole lot. And as the older people become unable to do their jobs here,
Yeah.
we've lost a lot of leadership in that.
Yes, ma'am.
area.
Yeah.
And we need to restore that somehow.
Yeah, and it's really empowering those people to be able to serve with their kids instead of, okay, your kids go over here and then you have to serve over here, but allowing the kids to serve too, because youth are very good at serving and worship, Brandon. And so allowing that space as well of people to serve and worship alongside of their children and making an intergenerational faith activity. Got something for me?
Yeah.
Nothing yet. All right. Just, yeah.
Did you guys have, in your other church, did they have a Stephen ministry program?
Did we have Stephen ministers is what she asked. So the church in Shiner did not have Stephen ministers, but Mountain View did. And so I am familiar with the Stephen ministry program in a lot of ways. I haven't worked alongside Stephen ministers as a pastor, but I'm familiar with them and love the work that Stephen ministers do. I'm seeing, I see the name tags, so I know there's a bunch of y'all in here.
We'll make that happen.
Okay, you'll make that happen. I like that.
What was the decision process to come to All Saints? What do you love about us?
What do I love about all? How much time you got? Initially, so as I think Pastor Dan mentioned in worship, I have been watching y'all as the ghost in the machine since like February. So if you did anything in worship between Ash Wednesday and now, I've seen it. But the first thing that really attracted me was the music. I know Jerry's not here, but what Jerry does with the music is absolutely amazing. Y'all's music ministry really, really kind of was the hook. But then I could just tell from online, y'all really just exude a welcoming community, a community that's really solid, that knows what they're doing, that really knows how to be a church, not just here, but outside of the community. I mean, the announcements every week are not just, oh, we have this program here and this program here, but it's, hey, we are bringing in other groups. We are going out here. And that really, really draws me in. I love doing ministry, not just within, I would say, 4 walls, but y'all have a campus, the city block, right? But going beyond that and being able to reach out into the community. In the room, then here. Yes, ma'am.
Do you play any other instruments?
I play organ, piano, guitar-ish. I can't camp guitar, so I can bang some chords out. Yeah, anything can be put into the key of G or the key of D, and just capo it up as far as you need to go until you just need 4 chords. Country music too, just 4 chords. And then I can also play some bass-ish. In the triangle, I'm really good at the triangle.
They had an explanation. In 2 Corinthians, Paul spells out the do's and the don'ts.
I'm gonna be honest, I know what you are talking about, but I need a Bible in front of me before I...
Can you repeat the question?
Oh, it was in 2 Corinthians, Paul talks about the do's and the don'ts. And I would need a Bible in front of me and probably some Greek and a lot of time to parse that out before I give a knee-jerk reaction to something like that. That's a heavy question. Not trying to slip away from it, but... Yes, sir?
What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to get to know people. Again, like I said, Matt and I haven't been in church in a long time, and so I'm so excited to serve alongside people, to learn alongside of you. As a pastor, we're called to teach, but we're also called to be learners and to find out what I can learn from this place. Because if I come here, God willing, I will take pieces of All Saints with me wherever I go for the rest of my life. And I'm really excited to find those pieces, to learn alongside you, and to teach you too. I mean, that's half the fun of this call, is to be able to be community and learn.
Has Daniel selected his fantasy football team name yet?
I've been thinking about my fantasy football team name. I may go with the Winners. That's about all I've gotten so far, though. I will say, though, I have an exercise in futility. I'm a Carolina Panthers fan. And so it's like being a Cubs fan or being a Twins fan. Like, every year you go in with hope, and every year you're disappointed. So I need to win something football related, and it's going to be fantasy football. As long as I'm not in a league with Dan, from what I've been told. Yes, ma'am.
What was your first date?
Our first date?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we dated and then stopped dating and then started dating again. So which one are you looking for? Both? So our first date, the first time, was at a little diner in Waverly called the East Bramer Diner. And we went for just dinner and what have you, just talking. After we got back together, I think it was watching Venom.
I think it was.
The Marvel movie Venom with Tom Hardy. Yeah, that was our first.
You can always call it Chick-fil-A.
Or Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I like me some Chick-fil-A. So I have celiac and she's gluten-free, and Chick-fil-A is like the place to get gluten-free food. So I do take tips in Chick-fil-A gift cards. That was a joke. Did you give me another cup? I don't remember who I was talking to. I think it was Courtney or Olivia or someone, that Lutheran pastors are just bottomless pits of coffee. We just drink coffee all day, every day. Pat, you can, yeah, all we do is drink coffee. Uh-huh. Scott says, yeah, I'm aware, I make it. Yes, sir.
What did you do for 4 years not with the congregation?
So I was with a congregation for the last 4 years. So I was in Shiner serving more or less as an associate pastor. So I preached at least once a month. I taught the Sunday morning adult Sunday school. I did a Wednesday night adult class. Like I said, I got godly play trained. I also was one of the big spearheads on visitation. And so my senior pastor could stay in the office and do a lot of the things he needed to do. And he would send me out on hospital visits and home visits and things like that. And so I have a lot of experience with some of that crisis ministry. You know, get a phone call, Daddy's in the hospital. Daddy went to the ER, can you come? And that was me. And so I have a lot of experience there too. Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if you answered this question.
That's all right.
Can you tell us 2 things that you see complement Pastor Dan and 2 things that you are different?
So different, he's an extrovert, and I am not. Surprisingly enough, yeah, I'm an introvert, and so you get, so my old supervisor in Shiner was also an extrovert, and I realized that we key into different parts of the congregation because all the introverts can tell that I'm an introvert, and they're scared of Pastor Dan. But one of the other things too is we talked kind of in the call process as someone who is younger, but as someone who is the associate, I can kind of jump from thing to thing and try things out here and there. And if something doesn't work, oh darn, let's try something different. Where Pastor Dan is going to kind of have to be more of that big steer the Titanic, and I get to be a little speedboat back and forth. And so we can kind of bounce off each other back and forth there. Compliment-wise, though, just from the little bit I get to know, you're a great theologian. He laughs. Maybe that was wrong. But the theology-wise, we mesh really, really well together. And just some of the ways that we want to do worship and do church, I can see us getting along real well. I don't know if that was 2 or 3 or 1 or what, but okay. Yes, sir.
What's your favorite Bible study taught?
My favorite Bible study that I taught? The book of Ruth. Ruth is awesome. It's super short, but you can milk that thing for all that it's worth. The book of Ruth is fun. We had a lot of fun with the book of Ruth. I'm trying to think. I did one right before I left that I really, really loved too. And I was doing, so my time in Shiner was coming to a close because my internship ended when I graduated. And so I had like a specific end date that I had to leave Texas. And we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do. And so we hit all the 1-chapter books of the Bible because I can get them done in a week and I'm not leaving in the middle of a Bible study. And so those were really fun too, because who reads Obadiah for fun? But it was cool. Yes, sir.
What kind of music you like?
I'll listen to a little bit of everything. Country music, rap music, rock music, folk music.
Jazz?
I'll do some jazz. I actually went to a Kenny G concert when I was a kid, and he winked at me while he was on stage and pointed at me. So there's my claim to fame. And then he signed my CD after. Do you know what a CD is? Okay, that's not quite out of date yet. Do you know what a VHS is? Oh, thank God. Okay.
10 more years.
10 more years and then they don't know what a VHS is. Jack won't know what a VHS is.
We conduct lots of Bible studies.
What?
Will you conduct lots of Bible
Will I conduct? I am not sure. That has yet to be seen if I'll conduct lots of Bible studies. I want to conduct a lot of Bible studies. But yeah, it just depends. I don't know completely what kind of Bible studies are here, and I'm not looking to come in and step on anybody's toes. If they got a Bible study going, I'm not looking to butt them out. Or what is that? Men's breakfast. Is that a Bible study? Yes?
Yes.
And no one does it?
The pastors do.
Oh, sweet! Breakfast and the Bible. I love that.
7 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday.
I'm up at 5. Let's do it, brother.
And you'll get an IV of coffee.
They put it right in?
Oh, I plug it right up.
Heck yes. He says they give IVs of coffee at the men's breakfast, and that's what I'm all about. What's the minimum age for men's breakfast?
All are welcome.
You may get a 14-month-old. He does drink coffee. My wife is like, you better not. Actually, the last thing he needs is coffee. That boy is an Energizer bunny. Oh my goodness.
Does he have grandparents? The little one.
Yes, so
Nearby?
yeah, so both my mom and my dad. Sorry, I just covered the mic. I'm so sorry for the people online. I think I've been smacking this whole time. There's a mic. That's the online mic. Both of my parents are in the valley. My mom lives in Gilbert. My dad lives in Chandler. And then my in-laws are both in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. And so he has all 4 grandparents. They're just 2 are here and 2 are elsewhere. Uh-huh.
What is your favorite meal?
My favorite meal.
That is a loaded question.
That's a very loaded question. Can you give me breakfast, lunch, dinner? Is that what you want? Or like, do you want a genre of food? What are you looking for here?
Dinner.
Favorite dinner? Oh, yeah. So my heritage is German. And so a good German meal, Brats and Spechla, Jägerschnitzel. Yeah, I'm a sucker for, so my grandparents, they lived in San Diego, and there was a place it might have been in La Mesa, it might have been in Lemon Grove, called the Kaiserhof, which is the best German food you will ever have in your life. They did a duck confit. Oh. Yeah, that one. Good German food.
If you like German food, we'll take you out to House of Murphy. Yeah.
House of Murphy in Glendale. Write that down. He said to take me there. Yeah, I don't need to write it down. Sweet. Give me a date and a time, and I'll meet you there.
Well, not just you, both of you.
Hey, yeah, we will meet you there.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
All 2.5 of you.
2.5 of me.
When he's in the mood.
Yeah.
We can make that a family field trip for the whole congregation.
Yeah, let's rent out House of Murphy. Everybody goes. See y'all there.
So what do you like for breakfast?
For breakfast, I am boring. So for the last 6 years, I think I've eaten pretty much the same thing for breakfast every day if I had a chance. It's toast and yogurt and a cup of coffee. I'm boring. But hash browns, I love a good hash brown. I love a good pancake, and I love a good French toast. When it's gluten-free. I'm a carb guy, which really sucks being gluten-free and liking carbs.
Gluten-free waffles.
Gluten-free waffles, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
What's your favorite yogurt?
My favorite yogurt? Like flavor or brand?
Both.
Peach. Honestly, the Fry's Simple Truth store brand is underrated. And when we lived in Texas, so it's like religion. The religion is like football and also H-E-B, which is a grocery store. We love a good H-E-B store brand yogurt too. So, Greek. Yeah, I'm a Greek yogurt guy. I do like Greek yogurt.
Go for a last question.
Last question. Give me a good one.
What's your stance on administrative assistant day?
Administrative assistant say give them all the presents and give them the day off.
Flowers, chocolate, candy.
Yeah, flowers, chocolate, candy, gift cards. Awesome. Pastor Dan's coming.
I'm going to release him so you can go around. Some of you might have a personal question you want to ask him. And then you're going to meet me at 11 in the sanctuary.
11, I'll be there a little before
Sanctuary.
11.
But thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's give him one more big welcome.